Well, hi, my name's Bob Haar. I'm the Program Director of Trades here at Northeast Technical Institute, and I'd like to say thank you for coming for what's going to be a little secret tour, seeing a portion that not a lot of other people get a chance to see until they join our program. We thought we'd start out with something that most HVACers, being hands-on related, really get excited about, and that's our classroom. You can see we've got everything you'd ever want in a classroom, from whiteboards, desks, tables, chairs. Most students say it really fulfills the hands-on portion that they really like. Not. I'm really holding back the good stuff for you. So if you'd like to come with me, I'll see if I can get us involved with something a little bit more attractive. Well, I'd like to introduce you to what we refer to anyhow as our main lab. This is where there are so many different things that happen. Right now, for instance, we have one of our students, Ryan, who's built an electrical circuit, and he's presently testing various points to see if there's potential. Now, could you see yourself building something like this? It doesn't get any more hands-on than this, I don't think. What do you think, Ryan? Is it checking out?
Yes.
Wonderful. Keep in mind, folks, this is where the hands-on portion really takes place. Now, if you'd like to follow me over here for a minute. These are our charging units. It's where you'll begin the program, and it's where the refrigeration starts to really happen for you. Our first and foremost goal is to get you to really understand the refrigeration cycle as a whole. Now, these are condensers on the floor, and these are evaporators, as you see, of various kinds, and each one serves a purpose in the refrigeration cycle. Interested in knowing just what portion that they play? Come on in. Program's open. Love to have you. But right now, you're going to be hooking up to these machines. You're going to be pulling the refrigerant out of them, doing repairs on them, evacuating them, and then recharging the refrigerant back into the system and balancing it. Our intention is to not only show you why or how, but to really get you to truly understand the refrigeration cycle. You can see that these are all slightly different, but they all perform the same functions. This might look like an ordinary small room to you, but I can guarantee you, you'll get to know it as something much different. It holds for a storage compartment, but if you scan up and take a look at the ceiling, you'll see that there's a big evaporator up there. This room is our low temperature freezer. Each class will at various times pipe this up, charge it, and see how low they can get it. The winner so far is 3 below 0. Are you going to be able to beat that? I challenge you. Now, our benches, as we mentioned earlier, perform several functions. Otherwise known as great leaning spots. They're where the students perform a lot of their activities. Not just the electrical, but they will start out with soldering and brazing on these benches, as well as performing portions of NORA, our oil burner portion of the program. They'll be bringing out burners and taking them apart, putting them back together, and really learning the parts on how a burner functions. Speaking of burners, let's go take a look at the oil lab. Come with me. This is our oil lab. It's where the portion of the program that we refer to as NORA, National Oil Research Alliance, is really where we study how an oil burner works. Now, keep in mind, things might look a little messy out here, but this is a working shop. This is where students get in and get their hands dirty. Every piece that you see in here was installed by students. Out here, students will not only learn to clean, how to perform different functions on it, but as well as troubleshoot possible problems. Over here on this bench, you can see we have a varying number of different burners that students will pull off and bring out to the bench and start to work on and take apart, wire up, and really start to understand how the internals function. One of the things I would remark about the HVAC industry is its diversification. The HVAC industry in itself, the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, the refrigeration, encompasses such a wide portion that really, once you have it down, you could be flying over the United States anywhere, jump out of the plane, and wherever you land, provided you land safely, wherever you land, you're immediately going to be employable. Now, granted, there might be portions of the country that lend itself more towards refrigeration or AC, or perhaps towards heat, but the industry as a whole is going to give you more security than you'd ever believe possible. I urge you to consider coming to NTI and joining us for the hands-on portion, because we feel the program that we have makes us unique, and I'd love to see you here. We find ourselves at the moment in what we refer to as the front lobby, which is really a fancy term for storage space here. One of the things you'll notice about the shop, if you have the luxury to come and visit us firsthand, is space is a premium here. If you occupy space, you're going to be doing some work. Now, we have a number of different pieces out here, but primarily I wanted to introduce you to our ice maker. This ice maker runs 24/7, all the time, producing ice. And as a student, one of the things that you'll be doing is pulling it apart and performing what we call a cleaning on it. Now, ice might oftentimes give you the indication that it's pristine, it's pure, and everything. But let me tell you, once you start cleaning ice makers, not this one because this one's cleaned fairly often, but some of the ice makers out there, your consumption of ice will drastically reduce. Unless, of course, it's one of the makers that you would perform the cleaning on. But we're going to show you how the ice maker works. We're going to teach you how to clean it, and we're also going to teach you why you've got to clean it. All right, well, we've moved out of the front lobby. Now we're upstairs on the second floor up in our gas lab. The gas lab is really where you're going to fulfill a lot of the hands-on portion for what we call CTEP, which is Certified Employee Training Program, but it's really gas training. We have a variety of pieces of equipment here, and one of the things I want to note is it's not pristine. This is, and I know I'm repeating myself, but this is a hands-on lab. It's where we stress for students to come in and really work with their hands so that they understand the equipment. You can see by these two pieces of equipment, in the scale of 1 to 10 on pretty, they might only score a 2, but they're some of the best instructors that we have, is what they've been able to teach students. One of the things you'll learn is the different styles of venting, how important it is to gas, the electrical portion. And I suppose maybe this would be a good time to actually hit on the electrical portion. If there was a connecting theme that goes through HVAC from the refrigeration all the way to the oil, it's the electrical side of it. You'll begin electrical when you first come in with us, and you'll work on electrical circuitry all the way through the program. Admittedly, it gets a little bit more complicated, but it accounts for about 80% of the problems people encounter in the field. had to have one form or the other of some type of electrical relationship. So we stress very much the need for people to understand how electrical circuitry works. You can see up here all these various switches. These switches are there for students. Upon any combination of the switches, they will simulate a different problem that the students have to get a chance to go in and try and troubleshoot. It's training, which is really what makes the hands-on portion of our lab. Down here, we've got more additional equipment. From boilers to furnaces to independent burners to rack burners. Even an instantaneous hot water heater over here. Now, this is, without going into too great a detail, I just want to explain, as the gas comes in, these brown, what we call regulators, are what controls the pressure going through them. You're going to learn how important it is as technicians in the field to be able to adjust the flow and how quickly these regulators respond. The need to understand gas from its beginning to its end is really what we want to make you aware of, because we want you to not only be a good technician, but we want you to be a safe technician. I could spend all day going through things up here, and I know you've had a chance to see some parts that maybe most of the people haven't. If there is anything in particular you'd like to take a look at in closer view, contact me. I'd be more than happy to perform whatever additional tasks you'd like to talk about. Until then, it's been a pleasure taking you through my gas lab and the HVAC lab as a whole. Take care and look forward to seeing you soon.